Thousands of students appear for the CBSE board examinations yearly, but only a few manage to secure exceptional ranks. These board toppers are celebrated for their journey of excellence. Their stories are about hard work and intelligence, perseverance, effective strategies, and a balanced approach to life. A common theme among CBSE board toppers is the importance of strong academic foundation laid early in their schooling. Consistent efforts over the years rather than the last minute cramming is a key factor of Soham Shrivastava, the Global School Group GSG CBSE Class 10 topper. Hello everyone and welcome to the new podcast of the GIIS Smartcast. I am your host Satvik Sinha and I am extremely excited to host Soham Shrivastava, who is not only just a GIIS Ahmedabad Class 10 topper, but also a GSG Class 10 topper, with its exceptional 98.6% score in CBSE board examinations. In this episode, Soham shares his journey to success at GIIS and how 9 Gems curriculum helped him develop holistically, including shaping his skills to excel as a CBSE Class 10 topper. Hi Soham, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Satvik. Thank you so much for having me. That is quite a glorified introduction that you've given me, but it feels great to be here, and I would love to share whatever my experience was over the past year.
So, you are a GSG topper from GIIS Ahmedabad this year. Did you expect such an outstanding result? How does it feel to come out as the best of the best?
So I'd say it certainly feels quite nice, quite ecstatic to know that I am the topper of so many students all across the globe of the franchise. And that apart, I'd say it feels good. It feels heartwarming. It feels a tad bit overwhelming as well to know that all the hard work I've put in, all the consistent efforts I've put in, all of that has beared fruit now and it has rendered successful. And yeah, feels quite good.
I'm extremely glad about your result. I myself is aiming to score this good and I am extremely inspirational about your journey. So, would you like to share your family and academic background a little bit about more yourself so the audience can know much about you and can follow you as an inspiration?
All right, yeah, sure. So I have myself have been studying at GIS Ahmedabad for the past 7 years or so, and they've certainly the teachers here have helped me lay a very strong foundation all throughout the year. They helped me all throughout the year, and they've played a significant part in my role at success. That apart, my family and academic background, all majorly my whole family is engineers. My sister, my father, and my mother, they are all engineers, and I aspire to be one just like them as well.
So this I am very amazed to hear about your story and I am extremely you can say I am so glad that you have scored this much good percentage and I am extremely amazed to say that you and your family all are engineers. I am sure it is in your genetics to top the class and take engineering. So what was your regular academic routine? What you used to follow daily in life or in exams? So what was your mantra for your success?
All right. So my regular academic routine was firstly after going to school consistently every day, I made sure that I did not miss class at all. And after going to school at home, I would firstly revise everything that has been taught in class, go through my notes, go and review everything that our teachers imparted as knowledge, and I would make short notes of those. That apart, I would solve all the homework that we would be getting, as well as make myself my own tests. So, in order to practice my knowledge, in order to read the textbook thoroughly, and in order to revise as much as I can to stay consistent throughout the year, it helped me stay motivated quite a lot.
I can say that this is quite insightful routine that you have given our students. And a key factor to your success is your daily perseverance and patience that you have shown by coming to school. Because nowadays we see a lot of people that if they don't want to go to school, they don't. But I hope the audience, those who are seeing this, they are surely seeing that how to be a topper, you need to do some sacrifices. Otherwise, everybody can be a topper. So, what was your preparation strategy and routine A few months before the CBSE board exams, as we all know, before the board exam, the school gets closed. You have all the very much time you need. So, what was your mantra for this?
All right. So our school had finished off our syllabus up till November, and I had a whole lot of time to revise, to review the textbook, to read as much as I can, and to practice as many previous year questions and sample papers as possible. So especially in the month of February and the month of January, after our pre-boards were over, when we had a lot of free time in order to practice, I would sit for 3 hours and solve sample papers. I would search up previous year questions, and I would strategize how to attempt the papers, how I was able to score better in my sample papers, and I would thoroughly check them. I would review my answers and make sure I used keywords as well. I would often also approach my own teachers with the sample papers I've solved and with the previous year questions I've solved in order to ensure that my answers were adequate and were worthy of the marks that they had. That apart, what I also used to do was thoroughly go through the textbook every day, like especially the night before the board examinations. I would sit down with my textbook and I would just go through my short notes that I've jotted down all throughout the year. And that helped me quite a lot, I believe.
So I can say that you have put yourself into a mold just before the board examinations, like the board examinations were just tomorrow because you were used to sit for constantly 3 hours like you would do in the board exam. So you would have a habit of concentrating for almost 3 hours and you wouldn't lose your concentration and do silly mistakes. So, what was extra preparational strategy that you have applied to score better marks, like using some reference or practice books, or doing some attempts on quiz, or whatsoever that you seem that is in fact too insightful to our audience?
Sure. So, as I mentioned in the previous question that you had also posed, I often used to sit down and solve as many previous year questions as possible. Like CBSE on their site as well, they give you the whole list of questions that they've asked over the years. And I would sit down with that PDF. I would try solving as many as I could. I would approach the teachers with my answers myself. And for reference books, I would um, check up the textbook. That is a very important textbook, one that can help you score exceptionally in the boards. And that apart, my teachers would often suggest me certain sample paper books, which would often help.
So it is basically that you were knowing that what kind of questions were going to be in the board exams because you have practiced so whole lot of questions that you were aware of that this type of the questions are coming. As the PYQs, they suggest how you can prepare much efficiently. So that was some mantra to success. I hope I am right.
Yes, absolutely. Considering the fact that I had solved so many previous year questions, I was ready for anything that the textbook had to offer, for anything that the board exams had to offer, and that helped significantly.
So, do you believe social media is a distraction? If yes, how did you manage such distractions? If no, is it okay to use it for some little time in the day? As the academic routine is a little stressful in 10th and everybody expected to score good marks. So, did you use it or did you not?
All right, so I would say that is a partial question that you've asked for because due to the sheer fact that social media it has two extremes. Firstly, there's the extreme that you get addicted to, and secondly, there's the educational aspect of social media, the aspect which imparts you knowledge, the aspect which helps you prepare in the examinations. Although I was not on Instagram myself, I was not on any social media apps specifically, apart from WhatsApp, where I used to talk to my friends occasionally, I believe every day or so. I did use YouTube frequently because it is a wide resource that offers you so many different questions, so many different types of questions as well. And my teachers would often suggest certain uh, apps or certain videos to watch, which would also help me strengthen my concepts as well.
I can believe in that because as myself also I use sometime YouTube because sometimes the clarification that we get on the YouTube about the concepts is very insightful and it's a very vast resource. Somebody have said very true that extremes of everything is bad. If you use everything judiciously, you can use that bad thing also into a good aspect. So, what were your strategies for managing exam stress and peer pressure? How did your family help with that?
Okay. Um, For exam stress, I believe solving and practicing as much as I could, it helped me stay focused on my goal. It helped me stay focused on scoring well in the board examinations. And it helped me cope with the pressure that I was facing from everyone else. Surely everyone had expectations, and I was striving to meet them every day. And I believe that was also a certain amount of motivation which was given to me. That apart, my family, they helped me immensely. For example, my mother, she every day she would help me review over topics that I was taught in class, and she would help me revise or ask me questions randomly. And that was, I believe, a significant, a very important role that she played, because it helped me review and it helped me understand my concepts to a great extent, to an even deeper level.
I can totally understand that because our mothers they think that we should score our best. And when she used to ask you questions, it used to prepare you randomly for questions. If you are not getting any questions that she asked, you can revise that question and make yourself more prepared towards your approach of scoring good in board exams. So now we will host just a very small type of rapid question game fire. This game is called this or that. So would you choose engineering or doctor?
Engineering.
Maths or science?
Definitely maths. Maths was my favorite subject all
Uh,
throughout.
yes, I can understand because you have scored very nice in maths, and that is obviously because you liked it and you have practiced a lot. And the last question is, do you prefer group study or solo study?
All right. That is, I know this is a rapid fire question, but I would say I
Yeah,
have to give a much more deeper answer to that, because group studying is helpful at certain points of time, especially when you are the one helping others to study. For example, I would often sit with my friends and I would help teach them concepts as well, which would not only strengthen my own conceptual ability, but it would also help them prepare in their board examination strategy. But studying solo is very, very important, because it helps you understand where your own shortcomings and lacks are. It helps you gain a certain amount of confidence, and it helps you stay motivated and focused. So I believe I would prefer studying solo, but group studying is also just as significant. It played a very significant part and a very important part in my board exam preparation.
that was a very extravagant answer, and I think it would be very insightful for your young peers, those who are listening to this. So, moving on to the next question, being a GSG topper is a big feat, but do you feel any chances of improvement in any other subject or any other thing that you lacked, or you could have scored full 500 out of 500 or 100% also? So, what was your some sort of mistakes, small mistakes that you think that stopped you?
All right. So, firstly, I would say 500 on 500 is a very, very big feat. And I could only imagine scoring that much. But to answer your question, I'd say it was the small times in the exams where I got confused about what to write, or when I lost my focus for a bit just because of a small error I had made in calculations or something, which eventually resulted in me losing a few marks here and there. And shortcomings per se, I believe I would like to improve on my conceptual depth, because a lot of the concepts in the 10th grade in all three streams are carried forward into the 11th and 12th grade. So I would certainly suggest that you improve your conceptual depth, stay strong with your concepts, and that is a significant and a very important part in board exam preparation.
I can understand that because someone has truly said that when your base is strong, the building or the foundation that is laid is very well formed. So, if your foundation of 10th is strong, the building or that will be raised on it will be much better. What role did GIS Ahmedabad play in your achievement? How did GIS Ahmedabad enhance your personality along with 9 Gems holistic development?
All right. So, firstly, I would like to acknowledge the fact that the Nine Gems personality development sphere of GIS in itself, the whole franchise, is quite important, since it not only allowed me to focus on my academics, but it also helped me in focusing on all types of extracurriculars and expanding my knowledge of the world and how things work around me as well. That apart, I have to thank my teachers. I'm so gratuitous towards all my teachers, because if it were not for them, I'm sure I would not be able to score such a good result in the board examinations. So GIS Ahmedabad, I'd say the whole school, the support from principal sir and all of my teachers, it played a very, very important role all throughout. And the amount of effort that all of our teachers have put in and the stellar results that our school have produced, it all has bore fruit finally, I'd say.
This was indeed a very nice answer. And one thing that I can suggest that is that nine gems is a thing that makes your personality overall, not only in academics, it strengthens you in your debate topics, in your sports. So it creates your personality overall so that you don't have some stress, because in 10th we all know that there is a very huge exam stress. But GIS 9 gems curriculum helps us in coping with that stress by not putting that much stress to studies, but also giving some importance to the extracurricular activities that are necessary for overall human development. Now, do you believe our teachers are the biggest motivators or supporters of the students? Now, just for 1 second, the I think they are, because the support that they gave you, I think you have mentioned in all your previous answers. Because of that, only you have achieved your big feat. But one word from you, Soham Bhaiya.
Yep, you got that right on. Our teachers are indeed our biggest motivators, especially when I was in my lowest moments all throughout the year. I'd often approach them and they would cheer me up. They would help me refocus on my goal, and they would redefine the whole path I had ahead of me. So, yes, they are definitely a very big motivation all throughout the year.
So, cheers to all the teachers. And what are your future goals? What do you want to do in your future? What stream are you choosing? And what do you want to pursue in that stream?
Okay, so I have continued in GIS and I'm currently studying in 11th grade. I've taken 11th science and I aspire to be an engineer. I aspire to be a computer scientist and study in one of the top institutions of the country. Those are my future goals.
I hope your dream comes true. Now, moving on to the last question. What are the three things you followed to score good marks and you would suggest others?
Okay, three things that I would consistently do is firstly, stay consistent. Review
Yes,
everything,
yes.
attend classes, review your notes, revise, and prepare as much as you can. Secondly, solve previous year questions, solve sample papers, curate an environment at home which allows you to feel like you're giving the board examinations because it plays a very, very important role. It is imperative. And thirdly, review your own answers. Check that you are using proper keywords. Check your own answers. Check that you've solved all the steps in mathematics and approach your teachers. Make a good connection with them in order to ensure that they not only focus on you, but they also help you and guide you all throughout your journey.
Yes, that was indeed a very nice answer. And you said correctly, because keywords are very important in some exams like science and English. And the thing that you said about the curated environment at your home is a really very big aspect, as your mind thinks that this is a very important feat, and you, in your psychological way, also develop a personality that you're giving a board exam and you're more conscious and more focused and concentrated towards your goal. Thank you for being with us today. The journey of Soham Shrivastava is an example of power of hard work, effective strategies, and a balanced approach to life. I am sure your story inspires countless other students. Aim high, work diligently towards their goals. Thank you to our audience for listening to this enlightening session with a GSG class 10 topper, Soham Shrivastava. Don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Do follow us on soundcloud.com or Spotify at GIIS Smartcast. This is Satvik Sinha signing off. Let's join for our next episode.